Hi, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Girlfriend's Guide Podcast. I'm your host, Thati J.
And I'm your host, Ellie. I like Thati J. Did you say that on the last episode? I like it. I like it. I liked it flows. Thati
That's
J.
what's new. Ever since we started back this year, I'm like, we need to let's get into the AKAs. Let's get into the other side.
I need to find mine. I feel like Ellie's already my AKA because if a lot of y'all know, I have a lot of names, so it's
hard when your nickname is your name.
Yeah,
because no one calls me Tatiana. What? When people, I'm just like, who's that? I'm like, oh, that's me. So already Tati is my nickname, but that's my name. So I'm like, I need another thing for when I'm doing podcasts and poetry. Thati J.
Thati J is it. I love it.
Yeah. Beautiful. So I'm like, that's it. That's what y'all gonna hear me as. But y'all can always call me Thati. That's fine. Thank you guys for tuning in on another beautiful Monday or whatever day you're listening to this. We are recording this on Daylight Savings Day, and I'm so happy. Literally, I'm facing my window right now, and it's so sunny. And I'm looking at the time, oh my god, it's 3:40. And look at the sun, and the sun doesn't set today till 6:47 p.m.
Yeah. One thing I gotta say about living in Texas is that, weirdly to say, I feel like the sun sets late anyway. I feel like daylight saving is not a thing here because it's like in the 6 South. It's like 6 or 7. I'm running out to go to do grocery shopping, and I'm like, it's still not dark.
Yeah, because it's the closer you are to the equator, the more I think sun and heat. So that makes sense.
Okay,
the sun lasts.
Educate us, sis. Tati J.
Right? The geography. I think that's geography. I think that's the subject. I don't know, but yeah. So that makes sense. Versus up here, it ain't that. But apparently, this is the last year we're having this. Usually it turns back in November. Apparently, that's not supposed to happen, which I will love because. Give me more sun.
Yes.
No sun has been proven to increase low vitamin D levels, which means low energy, depression. So it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
When it's just we can fix it. So let's fix it. So I'm so happy about that.
Oh no, they're fixing it. I love it. I know. So when this episode comes out, it's probably going to be a week before we head out to vacation. Yes. I'm going to be skin out in the sun. I'm going to come back happy. Every time I go back to where every time I go, I'm saying back as I belong there, but it is the Caribbean. So it's that is home. So every time I go on vacation, I come back and I've been exposed to the sun. I'm just a different person. I feel good. Yes. I actually love laying in the sun. I love
it. I love getting me a nice tan.
Contact with the sun just makes me feel so good. Sometimes I could be outside and I just the sun hits me and I'm just like, oh, I just want to sit here. Because I feel
it makes sense. It's literally scientifically proven. Yes. It helps improve your mood.
24/7, I feel like I'm just cold. So once I have contact with the sun, I feel much warmer.
Yeah.
So I like it.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Any ketchup you have?
I don't have any catch-up. Know that your girl's working. She's trying to achieve her goals. I'm working hard. This year is my year. I'm just going down my list of goals that I want for myself and know that I'm working hard. And I'll just keep cheering. Even though I don't share what I'm doing, just keep cheering me on in the back. Know that I'm going to work. I might be silent, but I'm working. And for the podcast, the previous episode, you guys are seeing a different setup, as we promised. Setup's going to start looking amazing. We're going to look all professional. Yes. We don't play here. We don't play. So
give us the time. Give us the time. It's going to get done.
Once we say we're going to do something, we're going to do something.
We're going to do it.
Yeah.
So that is good. Any catch up? Well, by the time this episode comes out, is it before or after our trip?
This is before our trip.
This is before our trip. So we are going to St. Martin.
Yes.
Me, Ellie, Cindy, and Ashley to celebrate my 28th
birthday. The council. We are going on a trip. When was the last time we went all on a trip together? It was...
Only us?
Yes, only us. 2019.
Was Miami. Our first trip together because everything else, we've had other people.
Yes. Yeah, only Miami.
So taking it back to where it all began.
We're just a bunch together. It's gonna be interesting because Miami is a whole story. Maybe one day when we make it, we blow up, we'll share the story of Miami. Miami will make money.
That.
They could make a movie.
That's a Patreon type story anyways.
Yes, they could make a movie out of Miami. You seen Girls Trip? We were Girls Trip.
Yeah. It was a good time. It was
good time. We would have to have
different though now.
We would have to have some contracts signed because we don't want anyone to sue us for, we could change names.
We could change names, cities and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to go. So this episode basically is just going to be like, because, we take birthdays very serious over here. Birthdays, typically always something happens. And I feel like my birthday, especially with my friends when it comes to traveling, and I've been telling them this too, like, life has just been a lot for everybody. So it's like, yes, this is my birthday trip, but I'm so excited to just like sit in the sun and relax.
You can feel the warmth.
To drink a nice cocktail and eat good food.
And it's all inclusive. Girl, I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna drink.
I'm gonna drink.
Yes.
I haven't had alcohol since January 31st.
No way.
Yeah.
Tatiana.
It is March 12th. And
I was gonna say your last name. Wow.
Yeah.
And as a friend, she's not gonna take this the wrong way. I'm saying this, but as a friend, I know Tati Shotzi's gonna have her drink. But
have a drink.
That's good. That's good.
Yes, I haven't had a drink since then.
Is it part of your is it part of your Weight Watch process?
Yeah, okay. So I just wanted to do it because liquor is calories, and so I was just like, okay, let me just do it for the month of February. It's the shortest month, but then I was just like, okay, I saw some results on the scale, and I was like, all right, what's really going on in March that I really got to drink for,
right.
Granted, it's Cindy and Ashley's birthday, and it was the twins' birthday in February, but I was just like, they'll understand if I don't want to drink because I have a goal. And I stepped on the scale like a couple of days ago. The scale didn't move. It stayed the same, but it didn't get higher either. So I'm just like, you know what? A little disappointed, but let me continue this non-drinking thing. So I'm not going to drink. Eventually, at first it was St. Martin, but then I'm going to a bal the Sunday before. And I'm like, that's a celebration for my birthday too. So I'm not drinking until April 9th. And that's going to be, 60-ish days, if not, around that time, many days. That's the longest I've gone without drinking. And I'm not saying this like I have an issue, but usually once a year, I try to take 30 days without drinking, just so, cleanse, discipline to know I can do it.
But remember October 3rd. That's all I'm going to say. Remember October 3rd?
Oh, yeah.
I know once we get to our vacation, you're going to want to relax, drink, have a good time. I don't want you to go back to that. So just make sure you ease yourself into having,
Exactly. And I think another reason too is just kind of like, I no longer like feeling like crap the next day. Not saying I ever liked it, but now it's coming to a point where it takes me 2 full days to recover.
We're grown,
that's
baby.
The age. That's old.
We're grown.
So it's like, I love going out and then waking up and like, oh my God, I'm okay.
Yeah.
And it feels weird sometimes, like, oh my God, I don't have a headache. Like, wow. So I also want to learn how to drink where I can enjoy myself, but drink where like the next day I'm not dying. And that's another thing with this trip is like, I want to drink, it's all inclusive, but I also want to be mindful of you have things to do the next day. And even if you don't, you don't want to be in bed all day because you can't do anything. You want to be in bed all day because you want to be. So,
and I know that you were saying how like for this trip, you want this trip to be relaxing. We're at that age where it's just like, we can't be like back to back. It's just like, let's go with the flow, just relax, enjoy the resort and have a good time. Exactly. Because we're there for 5 nights. There's clubs listed for 3 of the nights. Realistically, you're probably going to go to 2 clubs out of the nights. Like my birthday night being one of them and maybe another night. Other than that, I mean, usually hotels have things to do. So like, I want to enjoy that too. So there's a lot to do.
I feel like I haven't had a trip like this. And like, I've never had a trip like this, honestly.
Yeah.
Never. Where I'm going to an all-inclusive resort. I'm having fun. I'm celebrating. Like, I've never done this. It's giving internationally.
It's giving big girls trip. It's giving rich auntie trip. Because this trip costs. It costs. But shout out to our investor, Thati. She knows what I'm saying. So on our previous episode, we talked about friends. You can't do this with all your friends, but Thati is our investor for this trip. So because it is her birthday, she covered our portion of all the girls, and we're just paying her back.
Yes, exactly.
You cannot do that with all friends, and it's a monthly installment payment that we're doing. but you
Yeah,
cannot.
and we literally, before everything, I was like, so this is how much I needed by this date every month. And my friends have been given before. My friends have been giving more than what's due because they also understand with credit cards, you pay, you get interest.
I was calling Thati like, Thati, did it hit yet? Did
right? Ali was like, are you,
what's the interest rate? What's the interest rate?
And I'm just happy that I'm able to do that for my friends. I'm happy that I have friends that I trust that I know can do that and respect like my money, myself, and all of that. And like, I feel like 2023 is going to be a great year. Like I said, I got my first big girl credit card this year, which is why I was even able to do that. So now to use it for this trip, this is my first, I feel like, big girl luxury trip. I'm excited. I feel like it's just a great way to enter 28. I always felt like when I was like, you know how it's always like, what? You turn 5, then 10, double digits, and 13, you're a teenager, 16, 21, 25, then 30. I always felt like 28 was a year that you need to, it's a 28. Like, I always celebrate all my birthdays no matter what. Like, it don't matter. 23, what was 23? But it got celebrated. But 28 to me is one of those years that it's like, girl, that's 2 years before 30. Like 28 is a staple year, I feel like. And I feel like 28 because of that.
28's amazing. I don't know, it's because my mom growing up told me she had me at 28. So I felt like it was like, wow, like my mom was 28. I don't know. So for me, it's always like, that's when my life started. I always said I wanted to get married, start my life then. It wasn't going to be before 28. It got to be 28. That's when I'm ready.
I feel like that too, because even when I was in a relationship, I was like, oh no, but still 27, 28 is when I want to get married. Like, it's always just been that. I mean, I'm not getting married at 28, but like, it's always been a staple.
Well,
I mean, you never know. You never know. But you know.
We are praying, we are praying.
Praying. 28 has always been a staple year in my mind. So I'm excited to see what it brings. I tell myself this is my glow up year. And I feel like I've grown up internally so much the past couple of years. So I'm ready to glow up even more, especially that school's done. And I'm the never ending fitness journey, health journey of my life. But this is the first time in my life I'm on month 3. I never make it past month 2 of working out. So since January, minus I think 2 weeks, I've been consistently working out 3 days a week.
Awesome. That's amazing.
I don't do that.
That's great.
I like by February, like by every time I get to the second full month, I'm done. So the fact that I'm in March, my 3rd month, and I'm still going strong, proud of myself with that. I'm starting to see
that's great.
Different habits. Like I was drinking a ginger ale yesterday and I couldn't finish it. And typically the Haitian mentality of finish all your food. It's in my brain. It's in my brain. And I threw the rest of the ginger ale away. Like if I feel like, okay, I can't finish this, I don't force myself to. Like I just, okay, I'll save it for later. Portion control. So I'm seeing different changes in habits. So we'll see. I know the vacation, I'm trying to at least work out once.
On vacation?
I'm not going to force myself. Yeah, once. I'm not going to say 3. I'm just going to, one time, let's just work out in a different country. One time.
I would be so, walk on the beach. I would be so proud of us, but we'll make it a goal. Well,
like I said,
I'll see it through for us.
We're there for 5 full days. I think 1 is reasonable.
I think so too. I think
1 is reasonable.
Even a walk.
I think I could start off my birthday or my birthday day for it. I'm starting off my first day of 28 working out. I think that's a good goal.
I like that for you. We'll see.
So, we'll see. We'll see. No judgment if it doesn't happen. But it would be good if it did happen.
Yes.
But
I feel like birthdays have always been an important part in all our friendships. Even when we're in college, birthdays were celebrated, surprise birthdays for each other, memories were built on birthdays. And I know a lot of y'all are going to be able to connect with this, but my favorite episode from Insecure is the last episode when you didn't watch Insecure?
I never finished it. Never finished
do you mind if I talk about it?
No, that's fine.
So for those who watch Insecure, the last episode is Issa and all their friends. It's like years later. And it's just like, it shows you where they are and how they celebrate is that they celebrate each other's birthday, which is so important because when you have friendship, and we talked about this in our previous episode, when you have friendships, birthdays are celebrated. Like one of your friends hit you up, hey, for my birthday, I want to go to Costa Rica. Boom, you try to make it happen if you have the money to, right? So it's just like, it was so beautiful how the way to show the importance of their friendship and to just show life in general was celebrated through the perspective of their birthday. And it was amazing. And it's just like, it just made me remember about my friends, because birthdays we try to make it the best for each other. We try to create memories for birthdays. Birthdays are amazing because it's another year. It's a blessing every day that we wake up and see another day on this earth, especially nowadays, is a blessing. So just to celebrate your friends, that fact that you still have them here, and the fact that they're working every year to accomplish goals and you get to experience their accomplishments is amazing. So every year, whenever it's my friends' birthdays, whether we're celebrating it for through dinner, we're going out and partying, we're going on a trip, whatever it is, we're gonna make sure you have a good time. And I love that about our circle.
That's definitely. I know when I was little, my cousins were like turning 30. I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys are so old. You guys are saying 30. And it's just like, I'm not gonna lie, there's a little part of me be like, damn sis, you're about to be 30? 30 years old? That's, 30. It's not old, but it's not in your 20s either. But at the same time, I feel like what you said, there's so much going on in this world, and so many people our age and younger are not making it. So it's like, birthdays have always been special to me. And like I said, I think it's the only child thing. Like, y'all better celebrate me because I'm the only one. So, and my parents always did that. Always celebrated me, like always took me out to eat for my birthday, which I really, really appreciate, because I know there's some people who didn't have that and they don't really care for birthdays. But now more than ever, it's more of like, oh my God, thank you, God, for getting me through this age. Because unfortunately, it's just kind of like, you don't know if you have another one. You don't know if you have another one. So it's just like, celebrate this year, celebrate the people you have around you. And I also feel like birthdays aren't just even for you, and like even just accomplishments in general. It's kind of like when it's my friend's birthday, I feel like it's my birthday. Oh my gosh, yes, like another year.
You have more fun on my birthday part events and celebration, and I have more fun during Thati's birthday.
Exactly. It's like, oh my goodness, like I'm so happy that they're turning another year and they're accomplishing. Oh my God, sis, you got a raise. Oh my God, you're moving. Like, yes, like I feed off of people I care about thriving and celebrating them. I love that. And it's like, especially now, the older I get, it's like, I remember last year was my birthday and I was like, oh my God, I'm so sad because when am I going to have this? Like, I have to wait a whole 365 days again to get shown this appreciation and love. So it kind of gets bittersweet because it's kind of like, I don't want it to be only one day a year that I get shown love or other people get shown love. So I was just like, in my life, I want to, this may sound selfish, but I want to have more accomplishments because I want a reason for people to get together
celebrate you.
And not necessarily celebrate me, but just celebrate life, like celebrate everything that you've done up to this point. So I told myself, baby, if you don't want it just to be your birthday, to have people come around and like I said, not only celebrate you, but celebrate just everything in life, you got to do more in life. So definitely the older you get, it becomes a lot more reflective and a lot more deep. Birthdays hit way more than they did when I was 21 and 22. Like, you take it for granted. Woo, I can drink now. Woo. And it's like, ooh, I'm alive.
It's different. Every year hits different. I think this year, 28, was like the biggest one for me because it was just a lot happening. I moved to a whole different state. I was living on my own. It was giving really much adult. Really independent woman. Miss Independent.
Yeah.
You got that vocal. But it was really giving Miss Independence and Miss Independent. And I know I get to look back. I think this was the first year I get to really look back at my accomplishments, but like, wow, I really love where I am now. And I really appreciate the Ellie 27, the 27, the 26, the 25 Ellie that got the 28 years old Ellie to be here. Does that make sense? Yeah. It's just like
Yeah.
it took a lot of
Yeah.
growth. It took a lot of, get it together, girl, to get where I am now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this was the first birthday I wasn't really sad, like, wow, girl, you're old. I'm like, wow, girl, you're really making things happen in your life. I'm proud of you. And
Yeah.
although I'm turning 29 this year, so weird, I'm turning 29. What? I'm not sad. I'm not sad that I'm turning 29. 25, I had a whole breakdown. Oh my gosh, I'm getting old. I was so sad that I was 25 years old. I didn't know, maybe it was because I wasn't happy on where I was in my life, which is, when I look back throughout my 20s, I've accomplished a lot. Nothing to be sad about. I think it was just like, maybe it's like I didn't see where my life was going yet. Maybe that's why I was sad. But now that I'm about to turn 29, I'm like, wow, I'm accomplishing goals that I didn't think I was going to accomplish until I was like 30 years old. And it's just like, you never know next year where you're going to be in your life. So just always work towards the goals, whether it's a goal when you're 35 years old you want to accomplish, start working on it now, because you never know when a door is going to open that's going to allow you to get to where, have it earlier. Like moving here to Dallas is allowing me to get to a goal that I wanted, but I didn't see it until I was 30, didn't even want to work towards it, but it just falls on your lap. Like opportunity comes, you take it, So it's just like, always work hard. And I remember someone was saying that if you don't do something now, a few years later, you're going to look back and be like, wow, if I actually did it back then, I wouldn't have wondered what would have happened. It was like that whole, it was the same for moving for me. It was just like, wow, if I don't just do it, I'm always going to be like, oh, what would have happened 3 months ago? Or what would happen?
Exactly. I would have been there for 3 months by now. I would have gotten acclimated already.
So if there's something you want to do, go after it. If you fail, just keep going. So it's just like, we're not getting younger. Just try to work towards what you want to achieve. And some people know what their purpose is. Some people know what they want to do. If you don't know what your purpose is, I'm still working towards finding my purpose. It's just like, keep going, because eventually one day you're going to wake up and it's going to be right in front of you, exactly what you want. And it's just like, just keep working. Just keep working and just have a goal in mind, and you're going to achieve it. That's really it. Yeah.
Exactly. I think one thing that you said that is like, just because you don't expect to reach the goal now doesn't mean you can't start working on it. And I think that's very, very important, because it's just kind of like, okay, well, I don't plan on doing this until this age, so that's something I don't need to work on. Like me, my next goal, y'all know, buying a house. And it's just kind of like, you gotta save for that. Especially at this moment, it seems like I'm going to be buying it by myself. That may change, but at this moment, that's where it's at. So it's just kind of like, because let me see, I started saving for my house February of 2021. Mind you, I was just a full year into grad school. I was still working full time, but I still cut my hours down. I was paying tuition. So it's like, in that set of mind, for me to even save for a house, I was like, girl, you're paying tuition. You're not even working full time. You have other things that in this moment that you need to focus on. You can wait, because your house is not coming right now. But instead, I literally, every paycheck, and I get paid every 2 weeks, I would do $50 a paycheck.
That's something. And that's
something. And that added up. And then, grace of God, my mom got a big lump sum of money from something in Haiti, gave me some of that. So right now, I have not a lot, because when you really realize how much money you need for a house, but I have way more than a starting point than what I would have had if I didn't start. Like, if I really wanted to wait until I graduated or passed my boards, I would be starting right now. I would have been starting in January. I would have literally only had not even $300 at this point if I waited. And now I'm in the thousands. So it's just like, just because you never know when that opportunity is going to bring, and it literally doesn't have to be, it could be $5. Like, I was, if anyone who's in the medical field in any capacity, if you guys don't know, there is something called melanin medicine. and it is basically a Black organization in Boston for healthcare people. You could be a nurse, you could be a medical assistant, you could just be a receptionist at a doctor's office, eye doctor, any type of medicine. And one of the girls who works at my job, she's the founder. She asked me to be part of this career fest at the school. And I remember one thing I told them, I was like, listen, one thing I didn't know about student loans was interest. And I'll always tell this story. The first payment I made towards my student loan, I was like, all right, bet, we got this. Next day, payment went up. And I was like, wait, no, I just paid. Why is the balance going up? Called them. Oh, that's your interest. I literally goes, what's that? They're like, oh, it's something that goes up every day. And I was like, and I literally go, so wait, how do you expect me to pay it off if it keeps getting higher? Like, I didn't have the concept of that. And I remember I told these kids, if I could tell you one thing, from freshman year till the day you have 6 months post-graduation to pay your loans, save $5 a month. Save $5 a month and use that as your first, and don't even wait until the 6 months after, because that's when the interest start. Make that big lump sum of payment right when you're done with college, and at least get that principal down, and you're not paying interest when you start, because it just takes starting earlier, and you don't think about that. And like I said, it's not because until you're older. Like 28-year-old me was not thinking like this when I was 21, 20. And even then, it's like my parents didn't necessarily explain to me what loans were going to be like and what to do. So it's just anything you can start earlier on in life that can set you up later, do it. Even if it sounds stupid, even if you think $5 a month, I can't do math. 5 times 12, 60? I don't know. Yeah. 60. So that's what, $60 a month, but $60 a year, 60 times 4. It's not a lot, but it's something. And you're at a better starting point than where you would have been if you'd never started.
You got to start somewhere. Like, even with moving, didn't think I was going to move out. I knew I wanted to. That was a goal. I didn't know I was going to move out to a different state. Didn't even know when I was going to move. I found an apartment. Boom, decided to move. If I wasn't saving, it wouldn't have been possible. No way. And the one thing I always say this is that my parents, even though I was moving to another state, my parents weren't worried because they know I had the cash. I had the money to actually take care of myself. And not once did my mom ask me, how are you going to do it? How are you going to do it? How are you going to cover everything? Because they know I'm saving for life. Like, one thing for sure, I must save. And they knew I was saving, but they didn't know exactly what I was saving for. But I had enough money to move out and move to a different state. So yeah. So whether you're saving $5 a week, $10 a month, you're working towards your goal. If you have a goal to buy a house, start literally a year before, because there's so many things that go behind a house, like credit, learning about interest rate, learning about all these things about houses. It's just like, there's so much. So that's why if you have a goal, even though you think it's like, it's one fixed goal, there's a lot of things that go behind it. So it doesn't hurt to ever just like, start doing your research, start understanding where you have to start, because you have to start somewhere.
Somewhere. The sooner you start, the more prepared. I think being prepared is something I always like to be. Like, I don't ever want to go into something not knowing what to expect. I mean, obviously life is you can't control life, but even this podcast, like me and Ellie thought about this in September. We didn't come out until January because we wanted to be prepared. We were researching, we took classes, we were researching equipment, like researching editing software. Like we did all of this because things are going to happen. Like the night before I was supposed to come out, it magically disappeared and we had to rework stuff like that. We ended up having to re-record 2 episodes, but we did all of that and things still went wrong. But imagine if we weren't prepared at all. Imagine if we didn't take those 3-4 months of really understanding what we're doing, and on top of the things that did go wrong, how would we really have launched this? So definitely preparing. I just wish like I could go back to my younger self and be like, girl, start here, start doing this now. And it seems silly, but it's gonna work out so much more in the long run. Like my mind wasn't even there. And I think that's why with this podcast, knowing that we have people in their 20s listening, whether they're the same age as us or younger, like these are the gems I wish I knew. Start saving at least $5 a month, whether it's through for loans or anything. Start saving $10 a month for a house until you can get your finances together. Like, start doing these things. And it's just like, also start living your life. Go out, go on trips. Like my cousin just turned 21 and she spent it in Jamaica, and I was just like, there was no way I could have, like, but start living your life, have fun. Work will always be there. This whole thing of work crazy while you can while you're young, I don't subscribe to it, because why am I gonna burn myself out when this is the time I should have work-life balance?
I think you can do both. I think you can do both, because my career path, I had to climb the ladder, but that was my choice. I wanted to get somewhere in life, and that's where I am now. And whether this is for the long run, I don't see that, but whether or not, the thing is that, like, some career that you're in, you have to work hard, but also have fun. I was working hard, but I was also having fun. And one thing I will say, if you are living at home, there is no reason your money is going to waste. And the waste, I mean, that is just like more of like liabilities and things like clothes, like luxury stuff. Honey, how much money do you have in your account? What are you investing in? Like living at home, one thing I was smart about is I was saving. Because I'm an only child. I didn't got to pay bills. I didn't got to do anything. The only thing I covered is because I looked out for my future, and I was like, I'm not getting any more student loans for my graduate school. I'm going to make sure I cover that. But that's because my parents gave me the opportunity for that. And on top of saving for grad school, I was also putting money on the side. And it's possible. Money is a mindset thing. Because the amount of money, and I always say this because it makes me confused, the amount of money I was making, I was still able to save over 40 grand of grad school money and still go on trips. Because if you have been following me on IG, and even Thati herself, been on trips, living life, you'll see me out, dinner, lunch. It's literally how you process your money. It's really how you can still have fun. You can still go out. You can still save a lot of money and invest. Just prioritize
things, honestly. And even though I just said, like, you can have a work-life balance, you don't have to kill yourself. But at the end of the day, there are going to be periods where you're going to have to kill yourself. Like, I remember my first nursing job was at a nursing home. Hated it. Worked there full time for 1.5 years. Hated it. Finally got my dream job at the time. Normal hours, 5 days a week, never, not working weekends. But I also knew, but it was a little bit of a pay cut. It was a pay cut by $2, but my mental needed it. And I knew I wanted to be in school within the next year. I needed those type of hours. So because I knew I was taking a pay cut, for 3 months, I worked 2 jobs where I would work 13 days straight. And I only had 4 days off in a month. 4 days off in a month. Because I worked my other nursing home job. I paid more every other weekend on top of working my Monday through Friday. When I look back, I know I'm stronger, but sometimes I think I was stronger back then. Because me today would never. But I knew that, hey, like, I am going to go to school. I need to save up as much as I can because I'm going to go to school in these next couple of months, and then boom, we got to go. And like Ellie said, I told myself the only way I'm going to grad school is if I'm not taking out student loans.
Unless you find to do that to myself. Unless you find an institution or somewhere you work at that's paying for school for you, honey, don't take loans for grad school. It is possible to save it or work with someone who knows how to invest money and just pay grad school in full.
Or at least don't pay grad school with loans the whole entire way. If you got to do half and half,
even grad school,
something.
You can,
but get yourself
to take out loans. In the first 3 months, there's no interest on it. So if you end up, if the semester was $6,000, that's your loan right there. But they don't start adding interest on that after 3 months. So if you're trying to save, and then
Okay,
Yep. So there
that's
was
good
one
to
time
know.
I
I
ended
didn't
up
know that.
taking it, and then I ended up saving that amount of money, and then I just paid it off in full before the interest hit.
And also, like, one thing I noticed, because my first semester of grad school was like 5,000 something dollars. I applied for financial aid and loans, didn't get any financial aid, but got loans. My loans for the first semester were 6,000 something. I'm like, you guys are putting me in debt for more money than I even need. Yep. So I'm like, already it's a no. Already we're not doing that, because now I'm going to have to pay that plus interest when all I need is around 5,000 something. Like, baby, that's not going to work. So definitely, like I said, I had to suck it up those 3 months, boom, boom, boom. But at the end of the day, it was worth it because I didn't have to take 40 grand plus in student loans on top of my undergrad student loans.
The decisions we make now really impact us later on. Like, I don't think I could have been where I am now if I didn't save at a, like, starting right off of college. And shout out to my mother, because my mom's she's like the saving guru. Like, this lady always got money. I know for sure if my mom ever needs if I ever need something, Mom, I could drop an amount and somehow she'll pull me like, sis, what you do for a living? I know your job. But she taught me at a young age. She'll be like, once I graduate, she's like, here, this is where you're going to put your money. And that's where I started doing it. And it literally benefited me in the long run. And that's what I keep doing. And it's helped me so much. So yeah. So make sure whether the money's...
Man, this one...
Yes, we have to get Jada back on the other episode. And the thing is that one thing for sure is just like that mindset. Like, we love to see that money in our bank account for payday. So if it's hard for you to transfer money into your saving, one thing you can do is just have your employee just... the percentage just go right into a high yield saving account. And something I wish I knew, and this is sad, and some of y'all will be like, where have this girl been? I just found out about high yield saving accounts last year.
I found out 2 years ago.
The crazy thing is that I've had lump sum of money that could have been growing, but instead I had it in like banks that were giving me just like not a lot back. Pennies.
Literally pennies.
It is sad.
Literally pennies.
It is sad. And the fact that it's now, I don't know if because now I'm more aware of it, that I'm seeing it, more people talking about high yield saving account, high yield saving account. I'm hearing more people say it, but no one told me this. No one. I didn't know anything. And even now I'm telling my parents, and they're like, my dad's like, what is it? And I was like, Dad, it's a high yield saving account. It's this. And he goes, I've never heard of it. And he doesn't trust, he doesn't believe. I'm like, Dad, this is how much I got back this month. He's like, there's no possible way. I'm like, Dad, it is possible. And I've showed him, and he's like, oh, wow, I need to transfer to this. And I'm like,
1,000%. Like, for me, I think they're especially good for so like I have Ali Bank as my high yield savings account. And right now, I'm not gonna lie, since I got that bank in 2021, I don't even know what I started with, but the interest rate now is 3.4 something, if not higher, to be honest. And I'm not even like, maybe every 2 to 3 months I get an email from them. Interest rate is now increased. Like, interest rate is not, like, they're giving me more and more. And like I said, I found out about them 2 years ago. And I think that bank specifically, you're not going to find it. You're not finding it here. It's not a bank. Exactly. Yes. Which I think is perfect for my goal of a house. Because I can't take that money out. Like, yeah, you can always transfer money like from accounts, but realistically, I don't have access to that money, which is what I like. So if you have a long-term goal, so if you know you're going, like, if I knew I was going, I knew I was going to grad school a while ago. If I had known about this bank, I would have used that as my saving account for school and get more money on top of that from them. So if you have a long-term goal, and when I mean long-term, even if it's 6 months, but things that more like a year and so out, a new car, a house, school, you're pregnant, having a baby, you need to save. Those type of accounts are the best ones because you don't have easy access to it, and the interest you're getting back. Right now, I'm probably at $16 monthly interest getting back based on what I already have in there.
Seeing $40,
Santander's giving me a penny.
My credit union was giving me 0.01. And I was like, and then I didn't really believe it. I was like, okay, let me just open this account. And what I have is Capital One. I'm like, let me open this. And then now I'm seeing like 40, 30. I'm just like, okay, wow, this is great. This is great.
Girl, when I tell you, I feel like, and this is why I love Jada. If y'all don't know who Jada is, Jada is a money coach. She has been on our podcast twice already. I feel like we've always sort of, at this point, it's going to be a yearly thing because she has opened my eyes so much to money. And also, I'm a TikTok girl. Yes. I love TikTok. These Black luxury girls, the things that I see, this is what I aspire to be. And like I said, my biggest accomplishment, because I opened my credit card when I was 21 and only had a $500 limit. To this day, I'm 20, about to be 28. That card still has a $500 limit. Why the bank hasn't increased it, I don't know. But I think it was really good on my end because I wasn't as financially responsible to probably handle a credit limit over 500. And now I finally got a big girl credit card. I'm not going to say the limit.
Just know that I just told y'all she was my investor for this trip. So
I was able to get all 4 of our plane tickets and all-inclusive tickets, all 4 of ours on this one card. So, it's there. And this credit card, and it's the Chase Sapphire Reserve credit card. If you guys are looking for a good rewards and travel credit card, Chase is a good bank. That one is the Reserve. There's other types too. I'm not going to even hold you. This credit card got a $550 annual fee. Okay? Annual fee is high. But I was smart and I knew I was going to buy tickets and stuff like that. In the first 3 months, if you spend $4,000 on travel, and travel is like airplane, hotel, Ubers, Lyfts, those considered travel too, you get 60,000 points, which can equal money or can equal things. I knew I was spending that much, was able to get it. So that $550 annual fee, you have a month to pay it from when you open your account. And once you spend your first $300 on travel, you get automatically the $300 refunded. So I already spent over $4,000 on travel already. Plus I'm going to get $300 back. So that $550 annual fee really turned into $250 because I got $300 back. So doing your research on, don't just be opening credit cards, y'all.
They do.
They get us when we're young because we need money. If you're going to get a credit card, get one that benefits you. I lost my AirPods in November. I only have this left.
No way.
Where's everything else? I don't know. It's gone. And because I've been using my card, been doing the points, I have AirPods in the mail right now. The latest one, got it for essentially free because I use my points. So it's like, it costs $249. So I use 24,000 points, but it's like, I already had spent that money, got the points. So it's like, now I'm getting this for free. So you guys got to make sure anything that you're signing, make sure it's worth it. Granted, this got a high ass interest rate. Got an interest rate of, I'm telling you all the tea because I did the research, but y'all don't have to. Interest rate right now for me is 27.4%. That is a high interest rate. But what I figured out, if you make purchases over $100, you can create a payment plan of, so like one of the tickets packages was 2,000 something. I did a payment plan of 6 months where I only have to pay $300 something a month. And instead of getting interest of thousands of dollars, I only have a monthly fee of $20. That's already included in the price you're paying a month. So I didn't even know that. I was just ready to take that L. But because of that, I'm paying probably $200 of interest when I could be paying thousands of dollars of interest. So do your research. I highly recommend the card. But also, I worked my ass off to get my credit score high enough to even be approved for that card. But then this was supposed to be a birthday episode. Now we've turned into a money episode. What we learned since all this time.
This is more of like starting at a young age and learning along the way. At this grown 28, 27 years old, we've learned a lot along the way.
A lot. We've learned a lot. And like, I'm grateful for my mom. She always set me up financially. One of the best things my mom could have ever done for me, she bought my car put it under my name, paid all the payments, but that's me building credit when I didn't even know anything. And she paid off the car. So that helped my credit a lot. So it's like things like this.
It is.
It's like, oh, I'm setting up my kids. Like my kids, and my mom did so much for me, but she didn't teach me about these credit cards and these point systems and all of that. Like I had to do that on my own, but these are things like I want my kids to know, like each generation do more for the next. And she already set me up so well. So it's just kind of like, we're so young and we don't think about these things. No matter what, we're young. There's no shame in that. Especially when you're first generation, they don't even know half the things that people born here know. So we're at a disadvantage already. And it's a lot of, we have to figure it out on our own.
Yes.
That's why you got podcasts like this to listen to, where we can tell you certain things that you may not know, especially the younger 20s. And like I said, don't be just getting credit cards to get credit cards. Save them $5 a month. The older you get, you understand how much money plays a big role in your life. And yes, money doesn't buy happiness, but money
and just
impacts
understanding how
happiness
money works is important.
A lot.
I think 2 things in my life, if I was to do different in my early 20s, is understand loans, understand interest rate, and understand investment. Those are the 3 things I would change.
Yep.
3 things I would dive into starting off in my 20s. Yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, we have 2 other episodes here with a money coach. Her name is Green Line Planner on. At this point, she's going to be on Maryland Monday again for this episode because, like I said, a lot of, especially the last episode we had with her, she opened up my mind a lot. I was just saying I'm broke, and broke is just a mindset, not who you are. So definitely check out the episodes with her. We're going to have her on for another episode this year again. Black women, support us, support each other, and I love that she's teaching back to our community specifically. Follow her on Instagram, TikTok, all that. We'll have all that on our page. But guys, you make smarter decisions as early as you can.
The older ones, we got to teach the younger ones to make smarter decisions.
Yeah. Yes, we definitely do. But guys, I
thank you guys for tuning in.
Our episode. Nice, nothing too long. Yes, thank you guys for tuning in. You guys will probably hear an update about St. Martin in June. You know, so it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a situation. I'm excited. Keep an eye out on our stories. You know, we'll be together for the first time in months. So definitely we'll take advantage of that. I typically go live on my birthdays. We'll see how the day goes, if that ends up happening or not. But thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Girlfriend's Guide Podcast.
Bye guys.
Enjoy the rest of your week. Bye.